Order, will you please call the roll? Here.
Here. Here.
I'd like to approve the minutes of July 6, 2015.
Make a motion. Second.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow? Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Item 1, old business. I see none. Moving on to new business. Under authorizations, item number 1. The engineer's office has received a request to use a public space submitted by Pamela Talamo, representative of St. Peter's Church, in order to place 2 signs advertising upcoming annual Summerfest to be held Sunday, August 16th in public space. Is Pamela here? I see no issue.
Second.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow? Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Item number 2, the engineer's office has received a request for use of public space submitted by Doris Strobel, owner of a single-family dwelling at 114 East 11th Street, located in the 2nd Ward, for 7.5 foot by 5 foot and 7 foot by 4.5 foot for proposed new open wood deck between the sidewalk and property line fronting East 11th Street. Is it 41 and a half or 4.5?
4.5.
It's 4.5, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, but in the verbiage it says 4.5. Okay, is there anybody here to speak on this? Second word, Counselor?
It'll improve the home that it's going on. Best I can do.
Are there any comments, Counselors? Anyone?
I'll move this.
Second it.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Item number 3, the engineer's office has received a request for use of public space submitted by Timothy Ellis, owner of a single-family dwelling at 68 East Albany Street, located in the 4th Ward, for 1 foot by 18 foot for a new 4-foot-high wood fence between the sidewalk and property line fronting East Albany Street. Any comments? 4th Ward, Council?
I did not talk to the gentleman. I couldn't find him. But it'd make a little improvement there. I think he just wants it to set off his side yard setback a little bit, make it look good. So I didn't make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Item number 4, the engineer's office has received a request pursuant to constituent petitions brought forth by Councilor Sean Walker, requesting that East Albany Street between Jimmy Champagne Drive and City Line Road be named Nolan Swift Drive. Councilor?
Well, I was contacted by Nolan Swift's daughter, Sandra Swift Downey. She lives now in North Carolina. And I don't know if anybody knows Nolan Swift from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. He raced out there. But, I mean, he put the Oswego Speedway on the map like Jim Champagne. And they raced together for years, and they were just asked for a request, a little dedication to her dad. And I said I'd put it forward, and they ended up with 212 signatures, I think I have, they've given me, from the city. And then there's like 42 or something like that from an online one they had. So I told them I'd go through with it and see what we can do. And I talked to a few of the constituents up there, the Speedway. They have no problem with it because it promotes their place a little bit more and a little bit more friendly up there, seeing different named drivers up on the street.
What was the name of Nolan Swift's car? Does anybody remember?
The 10 pence. Come on, we all know that.
I didn't see any hands go up. Okay, I'm moving.
You'd like to move? I mean, it's from, and I talked to the people, and I told them, they got a nice Jim Champagne street sign there. It's carved out in metal and painted, hand-painted, and I told them the city would not be responsible for that. They have donations to get it made, and we'll have a dedication to it, and then put it up. So I just told them the city could not make it, basically. So.
Anybody else have a comment? Ron?
I would just say that the Speedway's been an icon in the city for decades, and I think it's nice to honor those that are, I consider Hall of Fame racers that are local. There's several more. We probably need more streets around there, but I think it's a nice way to recognize the track and contribute as well as what Nolan's doing for this weekend.
Anybody else? You guys might be a little bit too young to remember the old 10 pins.
Not much of a race.
So you moved it, right? I'll second it.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Item number 5, Mayor Thomas W. Gillen received correspondence from Kristen Smith, Team Red, White, and Blue Oswego, to hold inaugural 9/11 Remembrance Run, a road race, on Sunday, September 13th, 2015, to commemorate 9/11 and to honor veterans, police, and firefighters. Ms. Smith is requesting use of East Side Fire Department property for the start and finish of the race. She is also requesting a police escort and EMT standby and permission to have water stations staffed by the volunteers at the Police Department, Armory Reserve Training Station, and West Side Fire Station. Do we have anybody here to, is Kristen here? Step forward here, Kristen. Speak into the mic.
Hello. This is Nate Beasley. He's our chapter captain, and I'm the athletic director. So,
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Team Red, White, and Blue. Team Red, White, and Blue is a nationwide foundation that does, that's their charter, is to connect veterans with members of the community. Team RWB Oswego was started back in February. We became an official national chapter of that organization. Right now, that organization is over 150 chapters strong and about 750,000 people, or 75,000 people. So, early concepts when we started this team, we wanted to kind of do a race to both commemorate the soldiers and military, as well as the law enforcement and firefighters that have served since September 11th. I think it's a great way to kind of bring the community together and to honor those people that are serving those capacities right now. So we kind of came up with this concept. We're going to do a 9.11 kilometer run, which is about 5.6 miles. We've already contacted the fire chief. We've talked to other members of the community. They're pretty excited about it. So we're just looking for you guys' support to put this race on.
This is the first annual one you're going to be?
Yes, sir.
The first one you're putting on?
But we want to try to make it an annual event for as long as we possibly can, and we want to make it into an event that's going to bring people into the community. And right now, I work for Exelon Generation. Exelon has contributed $5,000 to fund this race, which is going to allow us to make it a pretty good event.
For the city attorney, Gay, for these road races, we have to have all the insurance waivers and all that stuff in order.
We have to have insurance by the organization are you a not-for-profit? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you have insurance.
The Team Red, White, and Blue, the national chapter does carry various types of insurance. How that filters down to the individual chapters, what would we have to do in order to?
You'd have to provide us, if you're a not-for-profit, you're supposed to provide the city with a certificate of insurance. That's just naming the city on the policy for that particular event. And then the participants should sign hold harmless agreements. If you don't have the insurance, then everybody has to sign hold harmless agreements.
Right, and that would probably be the case because the individual chapters don't carry insurance of their own. So we would have that race waiver as part of the registration.
That's what the city clerk's office would require. It would have to be in the resolution.
And that's, I mean, I think that's kind of typical now with like the run sign-up web pages that facilitate sign-ups for the races. They have that waiver as part of the sign-up.
We have the city has its own, you can get it.
Okay.
Commissioner, is usually there barricades and things like that are going to need to be set up? You have that figured out yet?
We mapped out the route, and we tried to keep it as painless as possible, but we also wanted to make sure that we wrapped in the fire stations and the police station, just because that's kind of the purpose of the race. So we do cross Bridge Street a few times. I think we can probably do that just through just maintaining people out there to control the traffic.
Am I missing anything, guys, on this?
Through the chair. Are you going to have volunteers out there help, watching the runners, or?
Yes,
you want
several
police?
organizations.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sorry?
Or you're going to have, you want police officers? That's.
Police would provide the escort, and I think they've already said that they would do that.
Right.
And that was part of the proposal. As far as the water stops and the intersections, there's several organizations in the community that are volunteered to do it. Exelon's already also making it an energy for the community event, so people from Exelon are going to be able to come out and actually take credit for their volunteer time. So we should have plenty of volunteers.
Plenty of help.
Beautiful. Thinking about no overtime, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, with your application forms and the insurance waiver and the race application forms, and I think we'll be all set there. And having the volunteers going, I don't see a problem with it. The date, I don't know if there's anything else we have happening there that's going to interfere with.
We kind of took that into credit, and I know the Friday before is the Heroes paddle for the Dragon Boat Festival. The Saturday's the Dragon Boat Festival. That's the day that we originally wanted to do it, but we didn't want to step on any other community events. So we moved it to the Sunday. The only thing that we were told was on Sunday was the Gay Pride Parade that's going to go from the Veterans Walk up to Brightbeck. So we should be pretty much steering clear of those areas.
Any questions?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have an add-on, and this is from Mike Smith. Commissioner of Public Works has received a request from Nate Emmons of the Summer Concert Series at Veterans Park to set the dates of August 5th, 12th, 19th, and the 26th of 2015 as rain dates for the series under the same terms currently authorized for the concerts. Apparently, they've been getting rained out, and they're looking for some rain dates. So this is what this is all about. And Commissioner, any more to add to it, or Mr. Emmons, great.
We experienced our first rainout last Friday. Kind of struck me at the time that we probably needed to plan for some rain dates accordingly. And so we would like to schedule some rain dates moving forward, just in case. We had 3 straight beautiful weeks of beautiful weather, and just happened to be the 4th that we had a chance to showers with. So same terms, we're looking at Wednesday nights. I thought that would be a night that perhaps the stage would be open, and I think the commissioner confirmed that today, that the stage is open. So same terms as we're currently running the concert series.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Counselor Enright?
Yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
And we need a resolution?
Commissioner, you get a resolution on that one? Thank you. No more, I see there's no more under authorizations, so,
Second. Third.
Counselor Enright?
yes.
Counselor Walker?
Yes.
Counselor Barlow?
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin?
Yes.
just take 5 and 6 up and put Amy first.
All right, this time I'd like to call the Administrative Services Committee to order. Please call the roll.
Counselor Van Buren.
Here.
Counselor Enright.
Here.
Counselor Capelitz.
Here.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Here.
Counselor Todd.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the July 6, 2015 committee meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.
All right, we're going to jump around a little bit. I'm going to start with item number 5. Amy Birdsell, Planning and Zoning Director, received correspondence from Lisa Glidden requesting your support for a grant submission to the NYS Office of Parks and Recreation and Historic Preservation. The grant will provide funding to reinvigorate the Fitzhugh Park Playground into a modern, accessible park that will provide additional equipment designed for all ages, a renovated sports court and outdoor classroom, landscaping, and a redesigned drop-off area along East Bridge Street. The amount being applied for is the maximum amount of $500,000. The required match is $166,666, of which will be accounted for with in-kind services and volunteer time. There will be no cash match requested of the city of Oswego, and there's an attachment. Lisa's here.
Hi. So New York State Department of Parks and Recreation has allocated about $15 million every year, and it's a program to basically either acquire or redevelop parks. And we had, I'm sure you all remember about a year ago, the playground at Fitzhugh Park had been closed because of the surfacing was no longer sufficient. It wasn't meeting the safety requirements, and the park was closed for several weeks, and then you authorized an allocation to get it reopened, and we got new engineered wood fiber and got it reopened. Right after that happened, the teachers at Fitzhugh Park School at the next Home and School Association meeting approached me with basically a wish list of what they would like to see in that park. And it matched a lot of what I think lots of us in the community would like to see in that park, which is more. So what we did back in November of last year, Amy Birdsall and Bree Buskey-Martinez, who's here from Compan Playgrounds, we met and did a redesign of the park, putting in areas that would go for all ages. So this will go from preschool through adults. There would be areas. It adds a fountain. It resurfaces the play field, resurfaces the courts, the basketball courts there, turning them into multi-sport courts. So they could also be used for soccer. And then finally, as another issue that came up in conversations with the Oswego City School District and parents at Oswego, or at Fitzhugh Park School, is that the drop-off lane on East Bridge Street is quite short, and in the morning is a complete mess with cars double and triple parked, dropping off kids and kids running across traffic. And according to the principal at Fitzhugh, there have been a few near misses. So what we'd like to do is expand the drop-off lane. There actually is a telephone pole there right now in the center of it, but we would basically have from the corner drop-off lane, telephone pole, existing drop-off lane. So it would basically double the length of the drop-off lane. This is, as you said, it's a $500,000 grant. The required match because of the poverty level in the census tract around Fitzhugh Park School is 25%, which comes to the mouthful of a figure that Councilor Van Buren mentioned, which is basically $167,000. Compan Playgrounds is giving us a grant, which counts as a donation. Part of my hours and my summer salary at the college will go toward the match. That's an in-kind expense. We met with the mayor, and we would like to work with DPW on this to have them do schedule it in when it would work for them to do some of the prep work for it, so the regrading, the site preparation, so all of DPW's labor time and the equipment usage for those periods can be counted. So as long as we know how many hours they put in on the park, we would be able to use that as part of the match. And then finally, volunteer time. So New York State has it's basically $27 an hour is what volunteer, not bad, what volunteer time is worth. So based on other community builds that we've had, I think we can easily do 2,000 hours. Probably it'll be many more than that over the course of the 2 years that we have to complete this grant. And then finally, the last part of it would be taking down the chain link fence that's there and putting up a new wrought iron fence. Somewhat like what's at Montcalm Park, but shorter and with more gates to enter and leave. I think that's about everything. Yes.
Councilor Walker.
Is it going to be handicap accessible for kids, because I know there's some parks that aren't.
Yes, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up. So it will be handicapped. So right now, as I put in the grant application, the playground at Fitzhugh Park meets the letter of the ADA compliance law, but I think not the spirit of it. The new, all of the new, well, most of the new pieces of the park would be handicapped accessible, including pieces that could be used, and Compound Playgrounds will provide information to physical and occupational therapists at the school, and really for anyone. A lot of the equipment can also be used for that kind of therapy. And it also meets for kids with other kinds of developmental disabilities, not just physical disabilities.
Councilor Caplan.
Had a chance to meet Lisa Glidden a few years ago in the mayor's office. Came in, we were starting to develop a better relationship with the college and kind of letting folks know from the college that come here what this community had to offer. And Lisa had stepped to the plate to start formulating a better town-gown relationship. And I just want to tell you, you're an inspiration. And I really appreciate what you've done here and what you've put together with the people you've done it with. And we are a bunch of fools if we don't just make this motion and pass this through. So, thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. This is...
Councilor Barlow.
Through the chair, I was just going to say what Councilor Capowitz said. Actually, I wrote down inspiring because I wanted to make sure I said that. I met with Lisa at Fitzhugh Park a couple weeks ago or a month ago or so, and just watching her go through the motions and see the vision and see what it's really going to look like should we get this through is inspiring, and it's exciting. And if any of my colleagues have a spare half hour, I encourage you to go and just have her walk you through. The map doesn't do it justice. And thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Amy Birdsall and Bobby Johnson, who helped walk you through the process. And I guess my only question is a comment maybe from the DPW commissioner, as a lot of this work's going to come through your office to your guys. I don't know if you have a comment or your thoughts.
Well, Councilor, as you well know, there's many things on our plate, and I suspect there'll be many still there come next spring. A wonderful idea. It'll be a great addition to the community. The commitment by the DPW, some of that will come from you. You will have to tell me what becomes the priority. So if that's the case, I mean, as always, we'll do what we can. But I'm not really looking for any more work, if that's what you're asking me. But we did our best when we did some work in the East Park, and that has turned out to be a really great thing, and we will continue to help and do what we can in all of our playground areas. So if you commit me, we'll do it.
Any other questions or comments?
Move it. Second.
Second. Hold on. Sue?
I'm not clear on why this is going before the city council rather than the school district and their budget and their resources. And I think half the problem our DPW has is they're already taking care of all these parks we built when we were flush. And every time we build something, we have to prepare for it. I'm just not clear on why this is in a school budget issue rather than a city issue.
The land is designated parkland through the state, and it is the responsibility of the city. We're taking it up.
Or we should donate it to the school.
You have to go through the state legislature, and honestly, I'm not really interested in doing it. So I'll just be blunt with you. It's our park. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Well, and perhaps also to speak with that, a lot of what we're doing is going to be removing the grass. So, I mean, if you can picture the school right now there, or the park right now, there's one corner of it that's the playground, and then the rest of it is just a big grass field. So we'll be taking away grass, which will be taking away the need for cutting, and we're working with a local landscape designer who's going to be, recommending, and we're going to take low-maintenance, sustainable plants. So it shouldn't be the first year, and actually we would get, I think, a volunteer force to do this. The first year or two, while the plants are being established, we would need people to go out and water. But beyond that, it actually should take away some of the burden from the city. And then beyond that, one of the things that's not in the proposal is that we do have several fundraisers planned as well to, just in case, to meet some of our match if some of our plans, the other match plans fall through. But what I plan to do with that fundraising money is actually put it in an account that then we could use to maintain that park so that we don't have to come to city council 5 years from now saying, hey, we need more, or common council saying we need more engineered wood fiber. We would actually have the funds that we could just draw on to get that from the fundraising that we've done. So, trying to make this as, low stress for everybody as possible.
I haven't worked directly with Lisa, but I've had a chance to work around her on several projects. She's extremely organized, and I'm sure that she's going to do everything she can to make sure that this is a success if she's awarded, and make sure that the burden on the city is, well communicated with what she needs from us and what she's going to do. And I have no doubts that she's going to work very hard if this comes through. So I certainly support it. Are there any more questions or comments?
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd. And we need a resolution.
Item number 6, Amy Birdsell, Planning and Zoning Director, would like to request your support to accept the NYSERDA grant that was awarded to the City of Oswego for a complete streets plan along Route 104. The $225,000 grant will allow for the City of Oswego to plan for modifications to make our main street more modern, walkable, and safe for all users. Amy.
Yes, so as you recall, that we received a $225,000 grant at the beginning of this year for the Complete Streets project that we applied for last year. So just requesting acceptance of that grant. We just closed the RFP process on Friday, and so I have a stack of proposals on my desk from consultants to get reviewed, and that will be our next step, is choosing a consultant to work on this project and then finalize our contract with NYSERDA.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin, sorry.
Yes.
Counselor Todd. And we need a resolution for that one, too.
Amy. Okay, back up to item number 1. The engineer's office has received bids for a scheduled concrete maintenance project at the High Dam Hydroelectric Facility, and the low bid was submitted by John R. Dudley Construction, the amount of $23,620. Funding for this project is available in account number A6989.0440, contracted services, and there's an attachment. Mr. Johnson. Come back. No?
He left.
Good enough. Any questions or comments? Yeah. All right. No questions or comments? I'll take a motion.
I'll move it.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.
Item number 2, the engineer's office requests authorization to sign amendment number 6 with GHG Consulting Engineers, LLC, to include professional services for Area 2, Route 104, West Bridge Street, and George Washington Avenue Basin Project, as explained in the attachment, the amount of $111,700 of the sanitary sewer rehabilitation project. Are there any questions or comments?
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.
Item Item number 3, the Engineers Office requests Mayor be authorized to sign the professional engineering service agreement with GHD Consulting Engineers in the amount of $162,800 for the combined sewer separation, second 25%, Phase 2. Project is mandated by the consent decree. Final engineering plans and specifications will be completed by April 1st, 2017. As of this date, the Environmental Facilities Corporation has not signed an EFC number to this project. Any questions or comments? It's all really just the fun future planning for the consent decree that you guys all have to look forward to. Motion?
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.
Engineer's Office requests that the mayor be authorized to sign the professional engineering services agreement with GHD Consulting Engineers in the amount of $60,200 for the combined sewer rehabilitation, second 25%, Phase 2. Project is mandated by the consent decree. Deliverable will be completed 180 days after the city's authorization to proceed, as further defined in attached Exhibit A of the agreement. Any questions or comments?
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.
Moving on to item number 7. A. Williams, City Attorney, requests an executive session regarding the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property, or the proposed acquisition or securities, or sale or exchange of securities held by such public body, but only when publicity would substantially affect the value thereof, specifically regarding the former Brenneman site. Questions or comments? Motion?
No, Counselor, I do believe there might be one other issue that is a continuation of what we discussed last week, and I'd like to at least put that on the session, just to cover ourselves.
Sure. We'll do an add-on for number 8 regarding an executive session regarding number 6, which is personnel matters. Questions or comments?
Make a motion.
Second.
Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor McLaughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Todd.